we are gonna build you some Boulder shoulders. And with that conversation comes a whole lot of complexity. Your shoulder joint is made up of like, I don't know, from anatomy class, I think it's like 10 muscles, or maybe even more than that. You've got 3 muscles just that run on your shoulder cap, those striations that you see in the really lean athletes. You've got your pec muscles, you have your trap muscles, and traps have 3 muscles, upper, lower, and mid-trap. You've got rhomboids in the middle, you have your scap muscles, you have scap muscles underneath your scap and over your scap. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And now you're like, okay, so there's so much going on. Why do they hurt all the time if there's so much muscle? You're getting that pain here because that's what we're gonna address. In my non-doctor form, I'm telling you we're gonna work on this, okay? I'm not a physical therapist. I am a CrossFit coach with a bachelor's in kinesiology, but I've learned a lot and I'm gonna share with you what I've learned. That pain right there, we're gonna help you fix it. So here's why you're getting this problem, because we're women, and if you have boobs, I don't have boobs, but if you do, you got boobs that pull you forward, right? And then we're texting and driving and watching TV and on our computer, and then we do all of these pressing motions in this direction or in this direction that build out all of this, and we don't do very much, really in the grand scheme of things, that builds out all of this. So we have a lot of life pulling us this way and not a lot of life pulling us back. As a general rule, you are supposed to do 2 pulling exercises for every pressing exercise. But CrossFit doesn't do that because we don't have enough time to do all that, right? So we're gonna get you to do pulling exercises and scap stability exercises in your prehab so that your shoulders don't hurt anymore. Now, first, if you are having active pain here that is irritated with pressing, I generally have my clients take, or my athletes take, 2 weeks off from pressing to rest it, okay? It's resting and calming down, we can already start implementing these movement exercises that are gonna help you build the stability out to, when you press, keep that scap down and back and press here instead of pressing here, which would piss off anybody, right? Okay, also, I have had people comment about, well, I do all the mobility stuff. The mobility component is extremely important. You've got to loosen up that tissue so that the body can get in that right position. But it's not all of it. If all of you're doing is the mobility and you're not doing the activation and strengthening, then you loosen up the tissues and you go and do the movement, and the movement is still unstable. It's like if you have, you know, a poor alignment on your car and you never get it fixed, but you keep getting new tires. That's great. You got new tires, and for a little while it might run okay, but the alignment is still out of whack, right? So same thing with your movement patterns and that strength. We got to get that strength component in, and we're going to talk about that. So we're going to go over a whole bunch of different exercises that you can incorporate in to get your body nice and strong and help you with that shoulder pain. So the first one that I want to talk about, so I mentioned for every pressing you're doing, you need to be doing a pulling. If you are having active shoulder pain and you don't want to rest it, or even after you've rested it, when you get back into the gym, you're going to have to look at the programming, and you're going to have to look at what is happening for the day, and you are going to have to add in some pulling on your own. The Bandit face pull is one of my go-to exercises for doing pulling strength because it works those small muscles. Shoulder muscles are endurance muscles. You know that when you do lots of push press at light weight, your shoulders can go forever. Okay, so the Bandit face pull, you're gonna grab the band and you're gonna get it at about chest height. You're gonna grab that band in both hands, and from here, I'm pulling back, actively keeping my shoulders down, traps down, so take them up, roll them back, hold them down, tendency, if we have poor shoulder mobility or not strong shoulders, we get those boobs up and then we press like that, right? That's not a good position either. We want rib cage down, then shoulders back. That's good posture. This is not good posture. This is good posture. I still struggle with it, but it's a work in progress. Okay, so face pulls. You can do them. I want you doing them if you have pressing in your workout, in your strength, or in your Metcons. I want you doing face pulls before and after training. Now, pressing, snatching is a press. It is a pull and a press. So it is included in that. If you are snatching, if you are overhead, if you are doing ring dips, if you are doing push-ups, bench press, wall balls, any of those fun things, burpees, you want to be doing face pulls before and after if you're having shoulder issues. Okay, what's another one I love? The Bandit pull apart. So again, remember I told you about how complicated the shoulder is and there's like a billion different things going on? One of those billion different things, the component of scap stability that is often not addressed, is your serratus anterior. You have these muscles here that help keep those scaps down. If these are weak, then they are not able to perform that ability to keep that scap down, and then it comes up, and then you have shoulder instability, and then your shoulder's out of whack, okay? So, the Bandit the Bandit pull apart helps get that rotator cuff firing, helps get those serratus anterior firing. We're gonna do these, and then hang on, I'm not done. I know you physical therapists are watching me going, what? That doesn't do anything. It does, because I got them on. Now, I get down on the ground and I do some scap push-ups. And I'm here, and now my serratus anterior is firing like a mofo, okay? For your scap push-ups, I see a lot of my female athletes bending their arms. It is a locked out motion and then moving back and forth with those scaps, okay? Have someone watch you if you don't even know if you're doing it. So, you're doing those as an activation exercise. You're doing them before training to get everything firing correctly. And then you should feel it. Can you keep those shoulders down and back? And can you feel this being on and alive? We're talking about this region right here. Not your lat. It's gonna be a little bit underneath your lat. Okay, what else are we gonna do? We're gonna do Y's, T's, and W's. You have seen them. They're not fun, but they are amazing. So, I like the prone Y, and all my female athletes will attest to this. I like it because it forces you to get that rib cage down and to move your arms independent of your thoracic region. So this is your thoracic region. It's like technically half, right? This is your I don't know, torso. I want to call it thorax, like a bug. Your torso. So your arms should be able to move independent of your torso, okay? So you're gonna get down on the bench. The first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna tuck that rib cage, squeeze that butt, and you're keeping those legs on the bench, okay? So I'm in this hollow position. Now I'm bringing my arms up, and I'm a little movement, okay? Focusing on using the middle of my back. My arms should be locked out. My thumb should be directed up. Don't worry about how far up you can go. Worry about the movement itself, making sure the movement is really nice and done correctly, okay? So you'll do that. Those are Y's. Your W's are gonna be with a bent arm, and we're coming up, squeezing, okay? Again, with that same hollow position. I'm not trying to train that chest up. I'm trying to tuck it, squeeze. And if those are easy, you can do them with weight. Now we're gonna go to your T's, and your T's are gonna hit the whole back of your shoulder. Thumbs up, locked out. weaker, sticks more than the other side. And you might notice that that is the side that is aggravated. You might notice that's the side that sometimes when I press out in my snatch, my left arm catches real fast and my right arm's like, hey, I'm coming, I'm coming. So you'll notice when you're doing those little arm movements where those weaknesses might be, and then it makes sense why things are hurting. Okay, so you're doing that. So far we have covered your Bandit face pulls, we've covered your pull-aparts, your scap push-ups, your Y's, W's, and T's. What other fun stuff will we do for your shoulder health? So you can do your scap push-up in quadruped. This is an advanced movement with one arm, and this will go back to if you've noticed that you have one arm that is significantly weaker than the other, then these are great. Single arm scap push-up and quadruped. Again, it's an advanced movement, but I believe in you. So you're starting in the quadruped. Hands are underneath my shoulders, knees are underneath my hips. From here, I just get up a little bit, find that balance point, and then I go. Okay? These, again, should be done before training. You're working on that scap activation so that when you press and move, you can do so really nice and healthy with your scaps staying where they're supposed to be. Okay, now we're going to talk about wall slides. So you're over on the wall, and you've probably already done these in CrossFit, but the thing about warm-ups in CrossFit class is we're often talking to our friends, playing around, and maybe we're not as focused on what we're doing as we should be. So these are great to do before your fitness, by yourself, slow AF, focusing on what you're doing. So you're gonna get down into that wall sit position from here, okay? My small of my back is on my ground, on the ground. How about on the wall? Small of the back is on the wall. Now I'm gonna go up and press out, okay? Can I keep my forearms on that wall? All right, and you're doing, they're not fun, I know, but it's better to do those than to have out shoulders. So you're doing like 3 to 5 of those, 3 sets, as slow as you possibly can do, okay? Okay, so wall slides. You're gonna do those before class. You can superset those with your face pulls and your pull-aparts and your scap push-ups. Now, I have one last one that I have a love-hate relationship with, but has been a game changer in my core and my shoulders. It still makes me cry. It is the quadruped opposite. I had a guy that commented, he saw my video and he's like, that's not quadruped because your knees are not on the ground. It's the quadruped position and you're lifting your knees up, okay? These are extremely hard, but extremely powerful because it is teaching you to have core control while you're moving your arms and legs, which is very important for us as athletes, but it's also very important for your shoulder health. Because like I mentioned, most of the stuff we do, we're doing, our arms are moving with our legs, right? All right, so you're gonna get up, you're gonna lift those knees just like an inch off the ground. Now from here, I'm gonna pick up one arm and one leg, trying not to let my hips move, okay? And I'm trying not to tilt, control. I'm gonna do that. I would challenge you, I do it as a Tabata, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 8 rounds. Like I said, you'll probably curse my name and hate me, but it's going to make a huge difference. It helps with my hip flexor strength too. It's gonna make a huge difference across the board with all of the things. So, you guys are gonna add in these exercises. You can also go down the rabbit hole searching for other shoulder mobility exercises. Nope, shoulder strengthening exercises. You're gonna add them in to your routine. And I'm sorry to say team, but if you've been having some pissed off shoulders for a while, you're probably gonna wanna add them them in 5 or 6 days a week. It should be 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, and depending on what you're doing, you should be spending some time afterwards as well. And then you need to be mindful, like I just did, of your positions throughout the day. If you have a tendency to have, my coach calls them douchebag shoulders. If you have a tendency to have poor posture, you need to fix it. You can get, I got a posture control thing that's literally makes me feel like Laura Croft Tomb Raider. I'll put the link down below in my YouTube for the one that I got, but it's like these straps that you put your arms in. It helps you keep your shoulders back, and it is literally just a posture trainer, and it's just a reminder to keep your shoulders back. So you can add that in. You need to do the mobility stuff on a regular basis as well, but again, it has to be movement patterns, weakness, and mobility. If you're not addressing all three of those at once, then you're gonna always probably have an issue. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions about this, if you need help with anything, if I can explain anything better. And yeah, I hope this helps create some bolder shoulders, and I will see you guys next time.